Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. In today's video, I will be tapping into the energies of the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. So as per usual, the timestamps will be in the description bar below as well as the comments. Let's just get started here. Okay, so starting off with Aries. Okay, the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay. So we have three cards here, guys. We have sad, stressed, and curious. Okay, let's see. So we have unhappy, joyless, dejected, tense, strained, under pressure, interested, fascinated as well. Okay, kind of an interesting energy coming through here, Aries. I feel like there's someone here that is possibly not fond of the current dynamic. Like there's something here that they're thinking about that's causing them to feel uneasy. Okay, so, you know, with the first card being sad, it could even be creating some sort of worry. I'm seeing the image of the Nine of Swords in Tarot. So this could be someone who's really stressed out or under some sort of pressure, like it states. But I do feel like there's something here that they're trying to figure out about you. There's something here that they're curious about, but it may not, it's not coming off to me as a very direct energy. Okay, so let's see, how is this person feeling about Aries? Okay, so we have the Ten of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Six of Swords. Okay. It's exactly what I said. You know, Ten of Swords, there could be something that is stressing them out. It could be pertaining to an ending, or it could also be read as betrayal. But with the Six of Swords, they're still curious about you, or there's something here that they're doing to feel closer to you. Now, the Swords is usually more of you know, an energy that occurs mentally. So it could be that even, you know, like they're reminded of you in one way or another, or they're revisiting a past event or a situation. But I do see them, you know, wanting to feel closer to you. You could be dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups followed by the Hanged Man. Some of you could be dealing with the Pisces. It's like they're, what I see in their feelings, first and foremost, I do feel like they're exploring the depths of their emotions. Like they are definitely in their emotions about this situation this week. I do feel like they're realizing or acknowledging how deeply they feel towards you, although there's a very stagnant energy here, or something feels very stuck. Okay, for this person, like they could mentally feel stuck, or there's some sort of restrictions in the way of them, you know, expressing their emotions towards you. In a way, I feel this person is in more of an observant energy, and they're not necessarily wanting to express to you how they feel, but I do think that that's something that they're acknowledging within themselves. The Hanged Man could also be symbolic for like a shift in perspective, or seeing things from your side as well. So this person could be viewing you as someone that they've misunderstood in the past, and now, you know, there's an energy of, let me try to see things from Aries' side. Six of Wands. They want your attention. There could even be something specific that they're doing to grab your attention this week. With the Six of Wands, I also strongly feel that this is someone who feels or is viewing you as, I mean, you could be in the public eye, you could be a popular individual, but they do feel like you're highly sought after, or there could be, or this could be a week where you're like very social, and that's somehow visible to this person. Okay, but I am strongly getting that they do have some sort of, or they are hoping for some sort of a successful outcome with the Six of Wands. But initially, what I was getting is just like wanting your attention or doing something in particular to grab your attention. The Five of Wands. It's like they're trying to stand out to you or prove something to you. The Five of Wands could be a little bit of like, a competitive energy. It could quite literally be, other energies involved or external influences impacting the connection here. But I do look, what I'm seeing here is someone who wants to stand out or prove something to you. There are definitely some sort of obstacles that are causing them to feel defeated. They are a lot more stressed than they're showing. And I also feel like this is someone who is in a very like tense energy. There's an urgency that they feel. So, in other words, they feel like they're under pressure, but I feel like they're putting this pressure on themselves. The Two of Cups. Yeah. Queen of Cups and the Two of Cups. This is someone who feels very deeply towards you. This is someone who sees you as their other half. They feel like you guys are able, or you're able to see things from their perspective, which is something that it's something that they feel very deeply about. It's like, okay, Aries is able to see things from my side, or maybe there's like a very different perspective that this person has on a specific topic or a specific, aspect of life, but they feel like you can see things from their side. They feel very understood when they're with you with that Two of Cups energy. Four of Wands. So what they have in mind is a commitment. What they have in mind is coming together with you, but there's some sort of obstacles here that they feel a bit defeated by. So the desire to come together, but also the worry of something that's in the way, and not showing how stressed they are, but hoping that they're able to work something out or something works out in their favor. Page of Swords. And this is kind of what I was getting with the Curious energy, the third oracle that came out for you guys, because it's like this person is very intrigued. They're wondering what you're up to. But with the Page of Swords, I strongly feel like it's a very indirect energy. Even with the Hanged Man in the same spread, this is someone who is a bit held back from you, or they're not comfortable with expressing their emotions. I think they're analyzing how they feel, but again, it's not the most direct energy. Seven of Wands. They're very protective over this connection with you. Even to the point that I feel a very specific message coming through is there could be someone on the outskirts or on, in their external environment that is somehow trying to get involved. It doesn't necessarily have to be another lover, but it could be a friend, a family member, someone in their social circle. But I do see it as very protective over this connection, not wanting anyone else to have an opinion on the connection, or not wanting anyone else to have an input at all. Page of Cups. Yeah. I feel like this is someone who is going to reach out to you, but I do feel that it's stemming from a space of, okay, things feel stuck. I also feel this, they're doing something in a very diligent manner. There could be, a part of them that is trying to figure something out about you first prior to reaching out here. But with the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords, I do see a message, but it's followed by a little bit of an indirect energy, or being very curious about you and trying to basically figure something out on their own without communicating it to you. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys this week. And moving on to Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Let's see. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay. Okay, guys, so we have two cards here. We have Fulfilled and we have Powerless. So two very different, energies here. The person on your mind, Taurus, when they think of you this week, or the connection that you guys share, they actually feel like they're in between worlds. Okay, there may be a lot of extremes in this connection, or that's just how they feel emotionally. Like sometimes they feel really good, and then other times they feel, powerless or let down here. but it's like they're trying to make peace with what is, but there is also something that they constantly revisit, which causes or raises a what if in their mind, right? So it's like, I want to make peace with this situation. I want to accept it for what it is, but they do have some sort of question here, or there is some sort of maybe unexplored potential that is raising curiosity within their emotions here this week. Okay, let's see. The Six of Pentacles wanted to pop out here. This could be, you know, a kind gesture or some sort of a generous act that this person is wanting to do. Six of Cups. Okay. And the Six of Swords. You guys could be seeing double or triple sixes. What I see is someone who wants to like feel close to you again because they're really missing you or feeling nostalgic. Six of Cups could be a past lover returning, but with the Six of Swords, I do feel like they're wanting to feel closer to you. It's a very nostalgic energy. This could be someone who is like taking a trip down memory lane this week. But I'm strongly getting that there's something here in particular that they're really missing about the connection that you guys share. There's definitely a level of comfort that this person feels with you. Okay. How is this person feeling about Taurus? Five of Cups and the King of Cups. You could be dealing with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Five of Cups being the first card in their feelings. I mean, without sounding too repetitive, it's basically what I said a minute ago. They're really missing you. There is something that is causing them to, or that is reminding them of the past that you guys have together, but it's also an energy of feeling very defeated. Like, what made me happy I no longer have, or revisiting maybe a more positive moment, but then when they think about their current reality, there's a very powerless energy associated with that. With the King of Cups, I do feel like this is someone who's viewing you as someone that they feel very deeply towards. They are you know, trying to be emotionally balanced this week. Okay, so again, they could feel like, you know, they're going through some sort of highs and lows, or they feel like they're on some sort of an emotional roller coaster. So I definitely feel like it's someone who wants to feel emotionally balanced. They're trying their best to, you know, keep their emotions intact, or kind of work through their emotions on their own. Two of Cups. This is someone who feels like they are still drawn to you. They still feel a connection with you. But the Two of Cups is also associated with listening to your higher self. And with the King of Cups, there's something here that their intuition is telling them to do. There's something here that they've learned from you, learned from this connection, whether you're aware of this or not. And Taurus, I strongly feel like this person views this connection with you as, yes, I feel connected to Taurus, but also this connection helped me grow, or helps me in one way or another. Like, I feel the connection with you has impacted this person's life in other aspects as well, not just, you know, the romantic part here. So they are viewing you as someone that they've learned a lot from. They could feel like there were a lot of lessons in this connection as well. The Seven of Swords. There could be some sort of dishonesty that is, you know, resurfacing for this person, whether that's on their end, whether that's on your end. But the Seven of Swords could also just be someone who's creating some sort of a plan, you know, a little bit of a strategic energy, whether it be, I want to reach out to Taurus, I want to speak to Taurus, but it's like they're doing it in a discreet way, almost like they don't want you to sense that that's what they're doing or what they're working towards. I do sense a bit of a discreet energy there. And we have the King of Pentacles. There's something very balanced about this connection, or you as an individual, you really help this person feel balanced. You guys may have like very different lifestyles or very different perspective on life, like the way that you do things, or maybe this person feels like there's some sort of structure that is missing in their life that they see in yours and they admire that. But I do see that you balance this person out in one way or another. Your energy could definitely be more grounded and practical in comparison to this person's energy. They may feel like they are their emotions are something that could be very difficult for them to work through, or they may feel like there are certain situations that they are very hypersensitive to, right? And I'm not saying this to pass judgment, guys. I'm just reading the cards. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, I do feel like this person wants to speak to you, but they're also kind of viewing this connection as if it's been at a standstill for quite some time. So there really is a question of, what do I say, or can I really say anything now that it's been so long? Ten of Wands. Yeah, there's something that they're carrying from this connection. A part of them's like, okay, I'm going to make peace. I'm going to accept it for what it is. But then a part of them's like, okay, but what if? Or, but, I still have a question about this, or I'm still curious about this. Like there's still some sort of curiosity here. But with the Ten of Wands, there is something that feels burdensome about this connection. There is a very heavy energy associated with that card where you feel like you're emotionally or mentally carrying something that really feels like, a monkey on your back. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a back and forth energy. What do I do? Do I reach out? Do I remain held back? And Two of Pentacles is also someone who has a lot going on, but you're still on their mind. They're trying to juggle it all. Okay, so this may be someone with a lot of responsibilities as well. And we have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. Page of Pentacles could be, a message, a phone call. It's usually someone trying to learn more about you, or there's something in particular that they want to ask you. That's what I'm sensing in this spread here. But I'm also getting that it could start off as a very lighthearted message. It's not someone who's coming in hot and heavy. It could be, hey Taurus, I've been thinking about you. I've been missing you, that sort of thing. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, let's see. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay. Okay. The only card that came out for you guys is jealous, envious, suspicious, possessive. Okay, I'm getting an oddly, a very specific message here, guys. You could be moving on from a situation or moving on from a person that you have quite a bit of history with. Okay, there could be some sort of control that this person desires in a relationship, maybe even some sort of control that has made you feel uncomfortable in the past. Okay, now what I see is there could be someone who is keeping an eye on you, or someone who is keeping tabs on you, and it's somehow visible to them that you're either doing better without them, or there's something that's visible to them that is making them very upset or envious here. Okay, let's see what's going on. And for others of you, it's not that something is visible to them. It's some sort of an assumption that they're, or some sort of an assumption that they're jumping to. Like if you're not speaking to this person, they're just assuming that you're maybe connecting with someone else. But there's a very possessive energy here also. Look at this, guys. Bottom of the deck, the Devil. Some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn. Okay. The Hermit. Some of you could be dealing with the Virgo and the Four of Cups. Someone is upset. Someone is upset. They're frustrated with the current dynamic, but they're keeping to themselves. but they still are keeping an eye on you. They're just not wanting you to know that, or there's a way that they are trying to figure out what you're up to without having to like directly ask you. And Four of Cups is, you know, someone who could be where there's too much of a focus on the past. It could be someone who's not happy in the current moment, but there's more fantasizing, or there's more illusions, or living in the mind kind of energy happening here. Okay. Let's see. The Hierophant. Some of you could be dealing with the Taurus, the Two of Pentacles. This may be someone that you were in a higher level of commitment with, because how they're viewing you is as an individual where they have a lot of history with you, but they also feel like they are committed to you in one way or another. So even if a commitment came to an end, energetically, they could still feel very tied to you. And with the Two of Pentacles, it's like there's a back and forth energy of what do I do in the now? You know, what should my next steps be? But I also sense a level of confusion here. Okay, someone here could be a teacher. It's like a part of them wants to surrender, but they're not allowing themselves to do so. It's a bit of a heavy energy coming through here. Almost like they want some sort of a hold, or they want some sort of, like they want to feel in control in one way or another. Like it could just be that they're looking at the situation and they feel completely defeated. Or if you're not speaking to this person, they feel like there's nothing that I can say or do to change Gemini's mind. Knight of Cups. I think this person really wants to express how they feel towards you. Knight of Cups could also be read as like an apology. But there's something in the midst of it all where it's like, whether it's something that's visible to them or it's something that they're just thinking about in their mind, like the Four of Cups that we did see, I did say it touches on illusions as well. But it's bringing them to a very negative space, or it's making them think about like the worst case scenario. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, keeping tabs on you, but they feel like an outsider in your life. This is someone who's really struggling because they feel like they don't have access to you, but, you know, digging deeper, they feel like they won't have access to you ever again. So there could be something that you communicated. Maybe, again, it's just an assumption that they're making, but something feels very finalized here. Strength card. This person has deep emotions for you, but they are like, something is telling them to remain held back. It could be a level of ego or pride where it's like, I don't want to reach out. I don't want to, you know, show Gemini how much this is impacting me. Could be dealing with the Leo, Ten of Swords. This person feels very alone and very defeated. But as much as I feel a very defeated energy, I also feel like this is someone who does not want to show it on the outside. Whether it's because they have some sort of an image to maintain, or whether it's because they don't want, or they want you to have like a specific perception of them. Ten of Cups, Ten of Swords. This person still feels connected to you. There's something about them viewing you as home to them. Something about, I still feel like I have a commitment to Gemini. Even if you don't feel that way, I'm seeing this strongly. Ace of Cups. Desiring a new beginning here. What's the Ten of Swords? The Nine of Swords. Yeah. They're up in their mind about the situation. What they want is to come in, possibly apologize with the Knight of Cups, and, you know, in hopes that it could lead to some sort of a new beginning between the both of you. But a part of them has not accepted an ending or a betrayal here. They still feel connected to you, but I'm also feeling like they feel like they have some sort of a commitment to you, even though the other cards are letting me know that maybe there's a little bit of a heavy energy or something that you guys were not, or disagreeing on, or even an ending. And the Nine of Swords is someone who's constantly worried. They're thinking about you quite a bit this week, Gemini, and they're trying their best not to feed into their negative thoughts, or like, you know, the negative side of things. But it's very difficult for them is what I see. For some of you with the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups, you have moved on. and it's visible to them, there is a new connection in your life. And I was sensing that with the first card as well. That may be for a handful of you guys, but even if it's not something that's visible to this person, it's what they're assuming to be true that is triggering them on an emotional and mental level. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Cancer. Okay, Cancer, let's see the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay. Inspired, moved, stimulated, challenged. Okay. So this card is kind of self-explanatory here, Cancer. I do feel like this is someone who is admiring you. Okay. They could be familiar with what you do for work, or there's something here that you're really skilled at. They could also just view you as someone who is very creative, someone who has really great ideas. Okay, but it also says stimulated and challenged. So I feel like there could be, a conversation that's occurring between the both of you this week where this person feels like you are, the conversation is mentally stimulating, but there could also be something that they feel challenged by, something that they're trying to figure out about you. Okay, and I'm also getting with moved, like there's something specific that you're doing or saying this week that this person is really inspired by, or it's something that is causing this person to maybe open their mind up to some sort of a new possibility, or maybe even new possibilities, plural. So we have the Empress on the bottom of the deck as well. Okay, so this is someone who is very attracted to you. I feel like this is someone who is possibly even holding you on a little bit of a pedestal here. We have the Hanged Man on the bottom of the deck. Some of you could be dealing with the Pisces. And we have the Seven of Cups. There's something that this person's confused about this week. They view you as an individual with a lot of options. So like if you're conversing with this person, maybe it's the early stages. Okay, if this is someone that you have history with, maybe they are conversing with you, but they're still confused as to, what you're focused on or what you want moving forward. Because they're viewing you as someone who's not really making a firm decision, and they feel like the connection is at some sort of a pause. Okay, I also see this kind of confirming what I said a minute ago. Like there's something that you're communicating to this person that is allowing them to see things from a new perspective here. Okay, how is this person feeling about Cancer? Two of Swords. Yeah, something they're confused about, something that they're trying to figure out about you. Like this is someone who definitely admires you, Cancer, and they feel a connection, but there's something here that they can't quite like put their finger on. Two of Swords, Two of Wands. Yeah, which is why there could even be some sort of distance between the both of you, where it's like they're trying to figure out something specific about you, but they're unable to do that because of the physical distance, right? This could also be someone who's very curious about you, but they're waiting for a sign from you to be able to ask you certain things. It's like even if you're connecting with this person, they feel like there's some sort of a guard up, or there are certain things they don't feel comfortable communicating to you in the current moment, or even asking you, because I see this more as like curiosity. The Emperor, and we did see the Empress on the bottom of the deck. This person could be older than you, Cancer, or there's some sort of an age gap here. This is someone with a lot of responsibilities. They may have children of their own. Could be, a business owner, or someone who's in like who is an authoritative figure. Okay, could be an Aries or a Scorpio. But I'm strongly getting, Cancer, that this is someone who is trying to figure you out without having to communicate it all. And I know that's an odd message, but it's like whether this is someone who is more analytical and they're a listener, maybe their communication skills aren't all that great, right? Maybe they feel like they struggle with expressing their emotions. They really want to know you on a deeper level, but they don't want to ask you every single thing that they're curious about. It's a very curious energy, but it's also very silent Cancer is how it's coming through to me. Nine of Cups. You make this person really happy. I feel like there's definitely something you're communicating this week where it's making them feel emotionally fulfilled. You check off all their boxes. You know, they feel like the conversations that you guys have are mentally stimulating. They may feel like, you know, you guys have similar life goals. They may feel like you carry yourself in a way where, you know, they resonate with it or they agree with it. The High Priestess, yeah, it's like there's an energy of them trying to figure you out, but then there's also an energy of them viewing you as mysterious. Like you may be a very private person, Cancer. Maybe you don't have any social media. Like, you know, there's something here that where there's like mystery surrounding you, where it's like, I want to know this about Cancer, but I only know what Cancer shows me. Not saying that there's this other side of you that you don't show to, the public, but they really feel like they're trying to get to know you on a deeper level, but you are a very private person, or you are open with them, but also open to an extent. The Judgment. This person feels like you're going to make a major impact on their life. You already are in a way. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio, right? But they feel like this connection is something that's destined to be, or it's like there's like a deeper reasoning as to why you guys have cross paths. That's how this person feels. I also feel like this is someone who's highly intuitive, but there's something about you that they're feeling a bit challenged by when it comes to like decoding you or figuring you out. Page of Wands. This person looks forward to communicating with you. There's like excitement here. You know, they feel like a child again in terms of how happy they are to connect with you. And they also feel like your outlook on life is very innocent, or there's something very genuine about it also. It could be like the lens that you see maybe achieving your goals through is very different from how they see things, but they also admire it. There's something very youthful about that energy. Queen of Cups. This person views you as very nurturing, extremely caring. You definitely know how to speak to people with empathy, or you definitely know how to speak to people where they feel very understood around you, is how this person views you with the Queen of Cups. The Moon. Again, you know, the Moon and the High Priestess, there's mystery to you, is how they feel. They admire you. I feel like this is someone who looks forward to conversing with you. There's something very different about you. This person could feel like they haven't encountered anyone like you, but with the Moon and the High Priestess, I think there's still a lot that they're trying to figure out, and they feel like you're opening up to them, or what they know about you is very limited. And then there's like a wall or something more about you that they're unable to figure out. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Leo. Okay, Leo, let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, so we have the card Discouraged. Dispirited, disheartened, deterred. Well, Leo, I'm specifically getting that someone here, they feel like things were going as planned, or things were going the way that they wanted them to, and there could be something that occurred very suddenly where they're like, okay, now I'm in between worlds, or now I don't know what to do, or I thought everything was smooth sailing and here comes an obstacle, and there's a bit of confusion here. Of course, they could feel discouraged or defeated in a situation also, where it's like, I don't know what to do. Like, they're thinking about it, they're impacted by it, but they're not sure how to find a solution here. Something is causing them to feel powerless. They may even feel like they don't have control over something that is occurring here between the both of you. Okay, let's see. Four of Swords and the Seven of Wands. There's a stagnant energy here to start off with, but with the Seven of Wands, there's also a very defensive energy. So I can read this two ways. Like there could be silence between the both of you, and there could be some sort of clear boundaries that you've put up with this person where they're feeling discouraged, kind of like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to come back from this. I don't know if, you know, Leo is going to speak to me ever again. Like it could be a very negative way of thinking. But this could also be someone who on their end is defensive about something where the stagnancy between the both of you is impacting them. But there's also something here that they're not willing to let go of. There's something here that they're still upset about or defensive about. Okay, let's see. The Three of Pentacles, the Judgment. There's a discussion. There's a discussion or something that the both of you try to work through, talk through more specifically, I'm seeing, but it didn't go as planned. So like, for example, if there was, you know, a barrier in the way, or there was something that the both of you were disagreeing on, it's like an energy of we tried to work through that, or we tried to speak about it, but it didn't work. So what do I do now? It's like a conversation or a discussion changed, you know, the dynamic of this connection here is how they feel. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio, potentially an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But it's like, okay, well, I brought that to the forefront, or Leo, you know, was, you know, brought that to the forefront. Whoever it was, it just seems to me like a conversation didn't go as planned. And now this person's like, what do I do? Or what do I say? Two of Wands. There's definitely distance between the both of you. For some of you, it's physical distance. Like this could be someone who travels for work, but they're constantly reminded of you. And they're trying to close this, you know, emotional gap, but they are feeling very defeated is what I am sensing here. What's the Three of Pentacles? The Page of Swords. You guys may have mutual friends and this person could be inquiring about you. I do feel like they're very curious. There's even a level of concern here when it comes to, you know, what you're up to, but it's not a direct energy. It's wondering these things and feeling these things, but feeling discouraged when it comes to taking the necessary steps to find a solution. And for some of you, like I mentioned, this person is actually having a hard time figuring out what to do. It's not like they necessarily have it all figured out. There's a level of confusion. Yeah, a very stuck or stagnant energy here. Some of you could be dealing with the Pisces. They definitely feel a shift in this dynamic, but they're able to see things from your perspective. There could be something that you communicated to this person in the past, and it's like a full circle moment that they're having where it's like, okay, that very thing that Leo told me is making sense to me now. Ten of Swords. I do feel like this is someone who feels very defeated, okay, by how things have transpired between the both of you. They feel very alone. This could be someone who's having a hard time taking care of themselves, or they don't feel like themselves this week. And with the Magician, I'm strongly getting like they are wanting a shift here. They are, when I see the Magician and the Page of Swords, that's someone who's creating some sort of a plan, or there's a bit of a strategic energy there where it's like, I need to figure out my next steps, or I need to figure out what I want to do about this, but they're keeping it under wraps. Again, it's not like they're communicating it to you. It's not coming off to me like a very direct energy. Three of Swords. Yeah, I do feel like an ending or the way things transpired in this connection is something that they're, feeling very hurt by, but they're also feeling very torn, right? Three of Swords is an energy of also feeling torn, and you have the King of Swords, which is, I want to get to the bottom of this, or I want to find a solution, but then I'm also upset, or I'm also frustrated, or I'm not going to reach out if Leo's not going to reach out. So it's a bit of a contradicting energy here. It's feeling hurt and wanting to speak to you, but also feeling like they have a right to be upset about something, or there's something here that they're still holding on to, which is not allowing them to fully just let go and express their emotions towards you. I mean, could be a level of ego or pride. The King of Swords, the Knight of Wands. This could be someone who was inconsistent with you in the past, or they feel like something about this connection was very on and off. But I'm strongly getting like an urgency that they feel to rush towards you, but they remain held back because they feel like that's the right thing to do. They also remain held back because there's something here that they're still holding on to that is upsetting them or causing them to feel torn. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Virgo. Okay. Virgo, let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, Virgo. Interesting. We have hopeless and jealous. I believe Gemini, this was the only card that they pulled. You could have Gemini placements in your chart, or you could be dealing with one. Hopeless and jealous. Is there some sort of envy here? It could be that the person on your mind, they're feeding into some sort of negative or pessimistic thoughts. Something that they're thinking of pertaining to this connection, or something that they're assuming about you is causing them to feel defeated. So like if this person is not speaking to you, maybe they're assuming that you are in another connection, or you are happy or better off without them, right? But there's some sort of definitely negative thoughts that they're feeding into, and it is causing them to feel envious. It's causing them to feel very powerless in this situation. There's a bit of frustration or anger here. Let's see. Okay, so we have the World card on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Two of Swords. Feeling like something is over, but still feeling like there's a lack of clarity, or there's a lot that's kind of like what feels like up in the air about this situation. Like this person feels like they weren't prepared for something to end. There could be something that they're trying to figure out about you online, like via social media, or something of that sort, but it's causing more confusion, or it's like there's a lack of clarity there. It's like trying to figure you out, feeling like there's something they need to know, but they become more confused, or they're not getting a straightforward answer is how it's coming through to me. Two of Cups, Six of Swords. This person wants to feel closer to you, Virgo. I see it as someone who really feels very deeply towards you, especially with the Two of Cups being the first card in their feelings. But the Six of Swords could be some sort of distance. And it's almost like, it seems to me that this is someone who feels connected to you, but they're viewing you as leaving them behind, or viewing you as like moving away for one reason or another. Like even if it's emotionally detaching, I mean, that could be the case for some of you, but it's like they're really questioning your emotions towards them this week. There's a bit of a detached energy that they're viewing you in. Eight of Pentacles. There's something that they want to work out here. Eight of Pentacles could also be someone who's working on themselves, or there's something pertaining to their stability where it's like, I want to be at a better space, or I want to, you know, do things differently so that I could feel more, you know, stable or more comfortable with where I am. King of Swords. Some days this person feels like they're upset, and some days they feel like they just want to speak to you. They just want to go back to how things used to be, or feel that connection that you guys share here. There's something that they're trying to be very realistic about with the King of Swords, where it's like, okay, this is the truth and I can't, you know, look past it, or, you know, I can't try to make it out to be what I want it to be. Like, it is what it is kind of energy. But I feel like this is a week where their emotions are clouding some sort of logic, or their emotions are getting the best of them, and maybe even leading to some sort of negative thoughts here. Knight of Cups. This person really misses you. I feel like they want to speak to you. They want to feel closer to you. And I did mention that with the Six of Swords also. 10 of Wands. There's something that feels very heavy about how things have transpired between the both of you. There's something that feels very heavy about an ending that occurred. Even though they feel like there has been a change in this dynamic, they still feel very connected to you, A, and B, there's something that they're trying to figure out or get to the bottom of. And of course, you're going to know your situation better than I will, but because they're struggling to find that clarity for themselves, it's making the process a lot more difficult for them, is what I see. Judgment. Almost feeling like I wasn't prepared for this, or I didn't see this coming, or I didn't think that it was going to happen so soon. A very jittery energy almost. And I'm also seeing with the Judgment card, some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio, but I'm strongly getting that, yes, there has been a change. A part of them feels like they need to accept it, but they're really curious about you. It's almost like they're trying to make peace with the situation, but they also want to know if you're at peace. They also want to know if you've moved on. They also want to know if you're connecting with someone new. So it's like there's a lot going on here for this person emotionally and mentally. Ace of Cups. This person feels like you're having a new beginning elsewhere, even if you're not, right? This is what's going on in their feelings. This is what they're assuming. 9 of Pentacles. They feel alone. They're trying to focus on themselves, but for some reason, there's still a concern when it comes to you and what you're doing. That's the best way for me to sum up, you know, what's going on in their emotions. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Libra. Okay, Libra. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Let's see. Okay. So the card that came out here, guys, is depressed, empty, numb, withdrawn. When I look at this card, yes, I am seeing it as someone who's upset, but I almost see it as someone who doesn't want to feel anything. You know, so this could be someone who's very hurt and maybe even withdrawn in this situation. Maybe someone you're in separation with, Libra. But I'm strongly getting that like they're doing something to numb their emotions. They don't want to face their reality. There could even be something that they're impulsively doing, which they're also utilizing as kind of like a distraction so that they don't have to think about you or this connection or something in particular that occurred. Like I'm really getting an avoidant energy. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to feel those emotions, because if I do, then I don't know how to, you know, come out of that hole, or so that's what it feels like. Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we have the Devil here on the bottom of the deck. Some of you could be dealing with the Capricorn and the 3 of Swords. Excuse me. a poor coping mechanism or doing something or feeding into something impulsively because of some sort of hurt that they feel. All right. So whether it's, dabbling in something unhealthy, whether it's feeding into negative thoughts, I see it more as a distraction, something or anything to take their mind off of the hurt that they feel. They don't want to address how they actually feel. I see someone running from their emotions this week. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we have the Tower. Some of you could be dealing with the Scorpio, and we have the Six of Swords. Something unexpected that occurred between the both of you, that this person feels really kind of shocked them, or there's some sort of a shock factor here. It also caused, distance between the both of you. And this is really mentally impacting this person. I think they're still processing what has occurred, but I'm strongly getting they're not really allowing themselves to process it this week. I'm strongly getting like a running away from my emotions or avoiding my reality kind of energy here. King of Swords. There could be a level of frustration that they feel. There could be even some sort of anger that they're holding on to because of an ending. But they feel like things did not, work out between the both of you the way that they thought it would. There's some sort of a plan that they could have had in mind, or there's something here where they thought they had more time, or they didn't expect, something to happen so suddenly or so soon. So it's also, like I said, a very shocked energy here. Judgment. There's been a major shift in this dynamic. For some of you, it could be, a separation. Maybe for others of you, it's quite literally a divorce with the Judgment and the King of Swords. But they feel like how things ended between the both of you really shocked them. And this could be someone who feels like they have a lot of history with you, or they have, you are someone that they would, connect with consistently. So going from that to not connecting with you at all is something that feels so difficult, to the point where they're not even allowing themselves to process it or think about it or feel those emotions of, sorrow. The Star. They know that there's something very special when it comes to this connection. The Star card is also associated with healing. And I think a part of this person knows they need to, face the reality of the situation or heal from what has occurred between the both of you. But this week they're really struggling to allow themselves to kind of just let their mind wander, or let their emotions, resurface here. Eight of Swords. There's some sort of mental restrictions that this person feels. They could be telling themselves that if they do allow themselves to think about something or feel their emotions, they're going to go in go down some sort of like a spiral here. Eight of Swords, it could also be someone who is still thinking about you, still feeling mentally stuck, but not knowing or not feeling, or feeling like there's not much they can do to connect with you again. And because they feel defeated, they're like, what can I do to not feel defeated in the moment? Right? And we did see the Devil. So there could be, like I said, poor coping mechanisms or something that they're doing impulsively. Six of Pentacles. This person may feel like there was some sort of neglect in this connection, like they weren't able to give you their undivided attention, or they were focused on something else. Six of Pentacles could also just be a generous energy of wanting to, come forward, right? And this could be a kind gesture. This could be Justice card, making things right with you. But it's like doing what they feel like is the right thing to do, or doing what they feel like is fair. And I'm specifically getting that some of you are going through some sort of legal issues or legal matters with this person. Justice, Judgment, and the King of Swords. So if this is someone that, for example, if you guys are going through some sort of a divorce, they're really impacted by this, but to the point where they're like, I can't think about it, or I feel like I'm going to implode. you guys may share something together, whether it's like you guys have children together and maybe it's shared assets, a home, you know, that sort of thing. Ace of Cups. What's the Eight of Swords? Ten of Wands. It's like they're wanting some sort of a new start, or they're wanting to feel, you know, better about the situation, but there's a very heavy energy associated with that. I think that a part of them is like, I want to heal from this, or I want to see things for what they are. But specifically this week, I think they're struggling to do that. I think there's more of running from feeling that emotion as opposed to like dealing with it head on. What's the Ace of Cups? The Nine of Pentacles. You being single, or you now being on your own, could really stress someone out. And what's interesting is this person feels like they need to work on themselves. They are someone who may even appear to be enjoying being on their own. But behind that is, you know, someone that I've, you know, someone that I have history with, someone that I birthed something or created something with is no longer a part of my life. And I can't process it, so I want to numb the emotions. But on the outside, it could seem as if they're, you know, maybe being more social or going out more, that sort of thing. But these are just coping mechanisms because there's more going on internally. Ten of Wands, Three of Cups. This person could be overindulging, maybe partying, that sort of thing. But I'm also getting that, like, you know, this person feels like, you know, you are single, or, you know, you are, you know, free to do what you want to do. And that could be something that is stressing them out. It's like they were used to you being a certain way for a very long time, Libra, that now that you are not that, or operating in that particular manner, it's something that is very difficult for this person to process. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. Let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, we have desperate, frantic, out of control, in need. When I look at this card, Scorpio, I feel like somebody could be reaching out to you very impulsively, like where, you know, maybe they're intoxicated, or maybe there's like, it's just, yes, it's coming through to me as an unexpected energy, but also like very, very impulsively, right? So whether it's wanting your attention, needing your assistance, right? And just reaching out to you, feeling like they are unable to fight some sort of an urge that they have been fighting for quite some time, completely giving in to that urge. Let's see. There could be a situation here where they're like, if I don't do something now, then this is going to be over for good. Like they feel like they're running out of time, or there's some sort of pressure that they're applying on themselves. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Three of Pentacles. It seems to me that this person is viewing you as detached, but also feeling like if they want to converse with you, or if they want to work something out, then they better do it now. Three of Pentacles is a card of like, you know, a discussion, or you know, negotiating something in hopes that you guys could come to a mutual agreement. But they feel like you're already in a detached energy. So if they were to speak, or if they, you know, wanted to say something, they should say it now, or they shouldn't wait too long. Like there's definitely an urgency that this person feels when it comes to communicating with you. Okay. Let's see. How is this person feeling about Scorpio? Knight of Pentacles, the Lovers. I mean, first and foremost, this person still feels very, very connected to you. But with the Knight of Pentacles being the first card in their feelings, like they're creating some sort of a plan, or they have a plan in mind. But I also feel like this is someone who is feeling like things are stagnant or things are very slow moving. And that's where this urgent energy could be stemming from. The Lovers is also a very deep connection that this person feels towards you, although they can't really put their finger on why. There's something here that they can't really explain or get to the bottom of when it comes to how deeply they feel towards you. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini. We have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like they want to come forward with a kind gesture, or they want to invest in this situation in one way or another before it's too late, is what I'm persistently hearing. So like, even if there's some sort of an emotional gap between the both of you, even if something happened very recently, they feel like there's a limited amount of time in order for them to fix something with you. Even if you don't feel that way, this is what's going on in their feelings. They are definitely feeling, you know, this urgency. The Emperor. Something that's causing them to feel powerless. They want to feel in control again. And it doesn't, I'm not really seeing it in a controlling or a manipulative way. I'm seeing it in more of, okay, I need to do something about it because I'm really wanting to see this change. But if I keep waiting around for something to happen, then nothing's going to occur. So I want to take accountability, or I want to take the first step, right? They're definitely viewing you as someone who's very difficult to read this week. Like, they could be trying to figure out how you're feeling. Maybe you see this person on a daily basis, but they're having a hard time figuring you out. The one thing they do know, though, is that you are definitely more emotionally detached from the situation this week than you usually are. Death card. This person feels very alone without you, or there's some sort of a void that they feel when you are not in their company, when you are not connecting with them. It's very interesting to me, Scorpio, because in their feelings, it's almost like, okay, something is over, right? And I need to be okay with that. Or, you know, things have changed between Scorpio and I, even if it's very recent. But they're also like, I need to do something about this. I need to, you know, there's like an urgency. So that's why I said when I open this spread, like they could be doing something very impulsively. Like, even if they're telling themselves, you need to let this go, you need to walk away. Like, there could be this sudden urge that they're unable to kind of shake, where they reach out to you or communicate with you. Nine of Cups. They're viewing you as wish fulfillment. They're viewing you as someone that they still feel extremely connected to, someone who makes them happy. And there's something here that they're doing for you or communicating to you in hopes that you understand how much you mean to them, with the Nine of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. Five of Cups. They're really missing you. They're missing how things used to be. But the Five of Cups is also associated with disappointment, right? So they may feel like in the past there was some sort of disappointment in this connection. There's definitely something that they're revisiting where they're like, I would do things differently if I had the chance to. I would have handled that, you know, situation differently, or I would have communicated my emotions in a better way this time around if I had another chance to do so. Two of Wands. Yeah, there's some sort of a plan that they're creating, or some sort of a plan that they have in mind when it comes to, you know, communicating with you and what they want moving forward. Six of Swords. What's the Six of Swords? The Eight of Swords. I think this person wants to feel closer to you. They want to feel more at peace when it comes to this situation, but they're very up in their mind about it with the Eight of Swords. There could also be some sort of mental restrictions that they feel, right? Where it's like, I don't know if I can get through to Scorpio, or I don't know if I'm, you know, executing this the correct way. It's like they're in their own way, but I also feel like there's this urge that they're unable to fight, where they're like, you know what, I'm just going to reach out. And I do feel like it could come off very impulsive or unexpected on your end. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius, let's see the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, we have angry, mad, furious, enraged. Okay. Well, I mean, there's most certainly something that could be upsetting this person. Now, there could also just be something in particular that this person is thinking about constantly, and it's making them very upset. I also feel like there's some sort of anger directed to themselves as well when I look at that image. Maybe feeling like they mishandled the situation, maybe feeling like they should have spoke up when they had the chance to, or, maybe respond or handle something in a better manner is mainly what I'm getting here. Definitely not happy with the current circumstances. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we have the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Seven of Pentacles. It's like this person is waiting on you or waiting for something to happen. I do feel like this is a week where they want your attention with the Six of Wands, but the Seven of Pentacles, it's like they're waiting for something to happen, or they're waiting for the right time to communicate something to you. I definitely see like some sort of a waiting game here. Okay, how is this person feeling? Ten of Cups wanted to show itself here. This is someone who feels very connected to you. There's your energy on the bottom of the deck, the Temperance. So someone who definitely feels at peace with you. Knight of Cups, okay, followed by the Eight of Pentacles. They want to express how they feel towards you, but there's something here that's causing them to feel a bit uneasy. Maybe something that they wish that they could have handled in a better way. Or with the Eight of Pentacles, this could be someone who wants to or feels like they should have invested more time or energy into this connection here. The Wheel of Fortune. Meeting you or connecting with you has taught this person a lot. It could have changed their perspective on certain things. It could have, they could feel like they are more open-minded about certain things that maybe they were closed off to in the past. But with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like a change, right, in this dynamic, which they're trying to accept, but they also, feel like they're in between worlds. Because the Wheel of Fortune could touch on when you feel like you're at, some sort of a fork in the road. So it's like, which way do I go? What do I do next? A little bit of confusion here. Page of Pentacles. What's the Eight of Pentacles? The Ten of Cups. It's like they want to work towards a commitment with you, but something could be causing them to feel uneasy, or something feels like it's in the way. I also am specifically getting that this person could want a connection with you, but something needs to change within their life in order for them to pursue you. And that could be something that is causing them a bit of frustration. Like if there's a cycle that they're, in, if there is a situation that they feel entitled or tied to, right? It's like something needs to change within my situation in order for me to build with Sagittarius here. There's a lot that they're learning about you with the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a back and forth energy of what should I do in the now? What should my next steps be? And they're feeling very overwhelmed. I mean, I know the card says angry, but intuitively I'm feeling like a very overwhelmed energy, or someone who's feeling very emotionally exhausted. With the Knight of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, I definitely feel like it's someone who wants to reach out to you. Two of Wands. They're planning for the future of this connection. It's like they're thinking about where you guys are now, but they're also thinking about what's going to happen like 3 months from now or 6 months from now. There's some sort of a long-term goal that they're focused on. Ten of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. You may be dealing with someone who quite literally needs to detach from another situation, or physically leave another situation in order to have something with you. Because as much as I'm getting someone who wants a connection with you, I'm also getting someone who has a desire to be single. So I don't know why I'm getting both of those messages. I could read it two different ways. You know, it could be someone who wants a connection but wants to be single because they don't feel ready yet. Maybe they're a non-committal individual, or it's someone who wants to be in a connection with you, but maybe they need to be single in order to be in a connection with you, especially if they are connecting elsewhere, or there's another situation at hand here. Page of Cups. This person really admires you. I see strong emotion. I see someone who wants to express how they feel towards you, but there's something that they feel they need to let go of or release, the Hermit. And that's also something that they're choosing to keep to themselves. Like you have someone here who's dealing with another situation under wraps, or trying to, you know, if it's not another situation, if it's like relocating, they're trying to create a plan to physically relocate to be with you, but they're keeping this to themselves until they get it done, is the kind of energy that I'm feeling. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, we have hateful, hostile, vengeful, spiteful. But bottom of the deck, it says happy, blissful, joyful, content. Someone definitely feels broken or torn when it comes to the situation. I mean, of course, it does touch on, hostility or some sort of anger, but I feel like that anger is stemming from a space of feeling hurt. So this is someone who's feeling hurt in this situation, or feeling very defeated when it comes to, the connection with you, but they may be masking it with, or it's coming out as anger or frustration here. You may have recently got into some sort of an argument or a misunderstanding with someone where you feel like there was an energy of maybe wanting the last word, or just saying something to kind of get under your skin, instead of actually being at a place of understanding you or responding to things in a mature way. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have the Magician on the bottom of the deck and the Ten of Swords. Something could have came to an end between you and this individual due to some form of like manipulation here. Whether it's, there's some sort of dishonesty in this connection. Maybe you feel like it was very one-sided, or someone wasn't being considerate of your emotions. But I'm strongly getting that this is someone where they're acknowledging some sort of manipulation in this connection. But it's also an energy of feeling upset, or feeling like they have a reason, or they're holding on to something that is upsetting them or frustrating them or causing frustration. Okay, how is this person feeling about Capricorn? Ace of Swords. Okay, the Devil. So it seems like they received some sort of clarity from you, but the clarity is upsetting them. I wonder if there was even, it doesn't have to be an argument, right, Capricorn? It could just be a conversation where you expressed your truth, or you could have been very blunt, just a very open and honest conversation. But there was something here that was said that is very triggering for this person. Now, they are still thinking of you, okay? They do feel like they received some sort of clarity, but then there's also anger and frustration associated with that clarity as well. It's pretty much what I'm seeing here. This is a week where this person could feel like there's a lot of obsessive thoughts surrounding you and the connection with you, with the Devil. Like, I can't stop thinking about Capricorn, or I can't stop thinking about that. Excuse me. I can't stop thinking about that last conversation that we had. Ace of Pentacles. What's the Ace of Swords? Four of Swords. There could be a new opportunity or something new that is occurring for you, a change that seems to be very positive, that is visible to this person. And that could be upsetting them as well, or it's someone who is feeling like you're somehow doing better off without them, or you're in a better space, and it's really, I'm getting the word triggering, or it's causing this person to feed into their pessimistic thoughts. With the Four of Swords, there's something here that's causing them to feel restless. There's something that they feel like is just not fair about the situation between the both of you. Five of Wands. For some of you, this person could be, having some sort of conflict with an external influence, like their family, friends, or someone in their social circle. Because a Five of Wands could be symbolic for more than two energies involved, or some sort of external influence impacting their ability to be with you. Like, this person could feel very emotionally overwhelmed because they want to pursue something with you, but they also feel like there's constantly an obstacle in the way, or there's specifically another energy that is interrupting or in their way of them, doing that. And the Five of Wands is usually something you don't have control over. And I feel like this is causing a lot of frustration or anger for this person, where it's like, I really want to find a solution, or I really wish I didn't have to, deal with said energy or said thing. But then I also feel like it's not in my hands, or I can't do anything about it. Six of Pentacles. I think this person wants to invest in this situation with you. I do feel the Six of Pentacles could be a kind gesture or just giving to the situation energetically, but there's something here that, it's almost like the elephant in the room, where it's triggering them or it's bothering them. It's in the way of them pursuing a connection with you. But it's also something that they don't have full control over. It's not like a solution is presenting itself to them. Nine of Pentacles. Spending a lot of time on their own. They could be working on themselves as well with the Nine of Pentacles. What's the Five of Wands? Two of Pentacles. So it's like trying to work on themselves, wanting to find a solution when it comes to an external influence that is impacting the connection between the both of you, but they can't seem to figure it out. Two of Pentacles is more of a back and forth energy. It could be when you're, juggling between two things. What's the Six of Pentacles? The Knight of Pentacles. I think the fact that things are moving very slowly between the both of you is also something that's impacting them. Page of Swords. I mean, best believe this person is still keeping tabs on you, even though there's some sort of distance here. And they're definitely thinking about you, and this situation is impacting them on a mental level with the Devil card. But the Five of Wands and the Two of Pentacles is strongly giving me an energy of someone who feels like the fact that they can't find a solution to something that is interrupting this connection is driving them up a wall. What's the Two of Pentacles? Six of Wands and the Ten of Cups. What they want is a commitment. What they want is to connect with you, and they want a successful outcome. But it's like, how do I get there, or how do I find a solution for something that I feel like is not really in my hands? So of course you're going to know your situation better than I will, but there's definitely something going on here where this person feels powerless about it, whether it's another energy, whether it's the fact that there's physical distance here. What's the block on the Ten of Cups? The Star and the Six of Swords. There's distance. There's emotional distance. It could be also with the Star and the Six of Swords. There may be something that this person feels like they need to heal or work on prior to moving closer to you. There's something here they feel that did not allow them to be close to you. That's what I'm strongly getting. Like, if it's emotionally, right, and there was some sort of an emotional block, and this person feels like they weren't able to give you their all, I could read it that way. But with the Five of Wands, it could also just be, I was connecting with Capricorn, but once I like, it's almost like I was connecting with Capricorn, but I wanted to feel closer. I wanted it to be more than what it was. But because this very thing was in the way, or there's constantly an obstacle, it makes things very complex, is what I'm sensing. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, so we have two cards here. We have vulnerable and disgusted. Revolted, nauseated, repelled, defenseless, unprotected, helpless. Someone could feel very exposed. Like if there's something that came to light in this situation, right? This person could be, upset about it. They could feel, disgusted when it comes to their actions or something that occurred between the both of you. But then we also have vulnerable. But that's why I was getting the message of like maybe something coming out here that is causing this person to feel upset with themselves, but also very defenseless, right? Like I can't do anything about this, or, I feel like, something came to light and there's no way that I could, alter that. This could be someone who's very concerned about your perspective on them or how you're viewing them in the current moment. Let's see. Okay. The High Priestess. Wanted to pop it. There's something here this person doesn't feel comfortable speaking about. For me as a reader, the High Priestess is usually, a very discreet or a silent energy, or someone that is struggling to communicate something with you. Knight of Wands in their feelings, and the Ten of Cups. This is someone who definitely has, or they feel connected to you. They do have a commitment on their mind, but Knight of Wands lets me know that like this could have been a very inconsistent individual, or something felt very, on and off about this connection with you. Something about the inconsistency being highlighted here. Okay, how is this person feeling about Aquarius? Temperance. Five of Wands. Okay, yeah. And this is why I was saying, like, with the disgusted as well as the vulnerable card, it's like two very different energies, or something shifting very quickly. Now, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, but what I see is someone who feels very at home with you, okay? They feel like you bring them a lot of peace. But there's something here that they feel they have absolutely no control over, or they feel like it's constantly in the way of pursuing something more with you, right? Five of Wands is usually some sort of an external influence that's impacting the, situation at hand. But it could also be just like an external influence in terms of someone else's energy. Maybe someone is telling them something they don't want to hear. They could be in conflict when it comes to their, when it comes to their social group or their family or friends. But I see someone who is torn, but also very frustrated with what's in the way of this connection. They also feel like they want to do something about it, but it's like they could feel like they have a lot on their plate, or they don't know if them communicating something is actually going to create a shift or a change here. Eight of Wands. Temperance, Nine of Pentacles. So someone who's viewing you as single, there could be something in particular that they're manifesting in terms of like the outcome of this situation with the Eight of Wands. But I'm also getting like they want some sort of a block or an obstacle to be removed. This is someone who is looking at their own actions as well, and even analyzing the situation and seeing what they could have handled differently. Ace of Swords. Wanting clarity in the situation. What's the Eight of Wands? The Chariot. What they want is a conversation so that you guys can move forward or see some sort of progress. But for the Five of Wands to be in the challenge position, also in the middle of the spread there, this is what they're feeling challenged by. Something they don't have control over, feeling like there's constantly an obstacle in the way, or why do things have to be so complicated kind of energy. And Ace of Swords is wanting a breakthrough in that back and forth energy, or that very conflicting energy here. It's like, I finally want a breakthrough. I finally want this to be over. so that I can move forward, so that I could see some sort of progress. You guys could be dealing with a Cancer. They could be also viewing you in a very detached energy with the Queen of Swords. Like, you know, they could view you as someone who's upset with them. You know, your back is turned towards a situation. And I'm strongly getting that this is someone who's wondering, what are you thinking of them? Or like, what is your perspective on them this week? How does Aquarius feel? The Tower. Yeah, there could have been a very unexpected event between the both of you that occurred where this person felt like they were not prepared for it. Some of you are dealing with a Scorpio. What's the Chariot? The Six of Cups. Missing you. I see someone returning. I see someone reconnecting with you, but there's something of the past that is causing them to feel uneasy. And when they come back around, it could also be that something that was in the way of the connection in the past is still ongoing with the Five of Wands upright. They do want a breakthrough, or they do want a solution, but I feel like it's something that's difficult for them to figure out as well. They may also feel like things ended between the both of you, or there was some sort of an ending due to external opinions. And this time around, they're not wanting that to get in the way. And I'm strongly getting like there could be someone in this person's environment that is telling them something that they do not want to hear. Like they're absolutely against it, to the point where whatever this energy is telling them is also very triggering for them. Six of Cups, Two of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. They want your attention. They want to come forward. Two of Pentacles could be a bit of a back and forth energy, figuring out what to do or what to say next. But Six of Wands is doing something to grab your attention, wanting you to focus on them. What's the Tower? The Nine of Cups. And the Justice card, wanting to make something up to you or make something right, because the Nine of Cups could also be, you know, someone who feels like they weren't really taking your emotions into consideration, or they were only looking at things from their perspective and not yours. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Pisces. Okay, Pisces. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. How does this person feel towards Pisces? Oops. Okay. So we have two cards that came out here. We have Creative and Happy. This person could admire what you do for work, Pisces, so it could be visible to them what you do for work. Maybe you work with this person. They could also view you as someone who's very skilled, or you have some sort of a creative skill that they admire. With the Happy card, it's pretty self-explanatory. I kind of see that as a Sun card in tarot. Someone who feels like you make them very happy, someone who feels like they're content when they are, you know, connecting with you. But they are like they're thinking about the possibilities with you. Like there could be a little bit of fantasizing going on here. What they could birth with you or what they could create with you is something that's definitely crossing their mind. Okay. So we have the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini. And we have the Three of Wands. Someone who feels very connected to you, and they're thinking about, or they have some sort of a long-term goal in mind with the Three of Wands. Three of Wands could also be a card of planning. Okay, it could even be travel plans. So if there's some sort of physical distance between the both of you, they could be planning to visit you or, you know, move closer to you, that sort of thing. Let's see. How is this person feeling about Pisces? Okay, the Moon. Okay. And the Queen of Pentacles. It almost seems to me that this is a little bit of like a hidden desire. Like someone who is viewing you as their version of an ideal partner with the Queen of Pentacles, but there's a bit of like mystery, or I should say it's a bit of like a hidden desire where it's like they're not really telling you exactly how they feel. Or even if you're connecting with this person, I don't think that they've expressed the depths of their emotions. There's a very magnetic, or almost like a magnetic pull, or they feel very drawn to you, but it's in secret, or they have yet to express that to you. But they are viewing you as someone that they have very deep emotions for. There could be something about the situation that just doesn't make sense to them. There's something that they have questions about. Because the moon could also speak about like what's hidden in this connection. So if it's someone who's, actively trying to figure you out, but they feel like they're very confused, or there are certain questions that they have that are not being answered, that could be something that's, bothering this person a bit, or feeling like they're in the unknown about something. Four of Swords. So if it's not physical distance, it could be that there's the communication between the both of you is not as consistent as they would like it to be. There's something here that's definitely causing them to feel restless, and I feel like it's something they want to know but do not know about you. Something they feel is in the unknown is how they're viewing it in their emotions. What's the moon? The Judgment. They want to see a shift in this connection here, right? They want to see some sort of progress. Some of you are dealing with a Scorpio. But they also feel like as much as they want to see a change, there may be some sort of a change that they are working on, or they feel they need to make in order for something to feel more stable or tangible between the both of you, with the Queen of Pentacles there. Like they admire you, they feel connected to you, but something does not feel stable, or it's not where they want it to be. Even if you're connecting with this person, but it's not as consistent, it could be that they want it to, become something where it's like you guys are communicating more consistently, or they're seeing you more consistently, that sort of thing. Page of Wands. This person looks forward to communicating with you. I feel like there's a great deal of excitement, passion here with the Page of Wands. You make this person very happy. What's the Four of Swords? The Justice. It almost seems to me that this person feels they need to do something in a specific way, or they want to do things the right way with you, whatever that means for them, right? This is a general read, but whether this is more of a traditional individual, whether this is someone who just has like a specific plan in mind, it's like they want to do things the right way with you, and they're moving in a very cautious way, where it's like, I don't want to mess anything up. I don't want to, get off on the wrong foot, or I don't want to say the wrong thing. A bit of a premeditated energy as well. Like this person likes to plan out what's going to happen, or what they're going to communicate prior to doing it. I don't feel like this is an impulsive individual. Nine of Cups. You make this person extremely happy. They're viewing you as wish fulfillment. And when I see the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles in the same spread, like this could be someone who feels like they actually, manifested a connection like what they share with you, or they manifested, you into their life. Like they are looking at you as someone who is perfect for them, and someone who makes them very, very happy. But they're trying to figure you out, or there's still something here that feels like it's kind of hidden or in the dark. With the Moon card being the first card in their feelings, there's still certain things that they're trying to figure out, or maybe certain questions that they want to ask. Six of Pentacles. Wanting to invest in this situation, wanting to give to this situation here. It could even be a kind gesture, like gifting you something, right? It could even be communication, but I see it as something like tangible. Ace of Cups. I think this is someone who definitely wants to pursue you, but there's something, A, that feels inconsistent here, and B, it doesn't feel stable, not in the current moment, but that's what they're working towards. The other thing I see standing out to me is possibly this person wanting to express the depths of their emotions to you. Like maybe you know that this person's taking a liking towards you, but you don't know to like what level. And the other thing that I see here is really trying to figure you out, or that there's something about you or your personal life or the situation that feels like, I have questions, or I don't know about that, so I want to ask about that, wanting more clarity in this situation here. And it could be because we have the Ace of Cups. If you're in the early stages of connecting with this person, maybe there is a lot that they don't know. Maybe there is a lot that they're curious about. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. I really do hope you are able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.